And then a guy named Ray Dennison dies playing football, college football, and his wife wants workers' comp and other benefits that anybody would want if their husband died playing football, but they create the term student-athlete to get around having to pay that family what they were owed, okay? So, well, it wasn't a student that got hurt. It was a student-athlete. They knew the risk they were taking. And so that's the term, but it's a term that isn't really associated with something that that is good and that is fair. And so the interesting part about Byers is he retires from the NCAA in 1987, and a few years later, he writes a book called Unsportsmanlike Conduct, condemning everything he created over those 36 years, condemning the term student-athlete, condemning the amateurism model, condemning the fact that players don't get paid. This was written in the early 90s by the guy who created it all. Wow. It was his penance for what he had done before he died.
Wow.
Okay?
Wow.
And that was in the 90s, and they still didn't change anything until they were forced to in the courts with O'Bannon. So that's the sidebar on why I don't like the term. It's also a way to understand the history of the industry and then all the breakdowns of the revenues of college sports versus the revenues of pro sports and how little a piece of pie the athletes get versus with scholarships and benefits, their piece is still much smaller than the salary piece of the pie that the pro leagues get. It gives you perspective.